Hello and welcome to the channel. Today I'll be unpacking this Bokashi composting kit. Join me as we set it up and discuss what can and cannot be composted. I will also give you some tips on how best to avoid any stinking smell or maggots. This is a Bokashi brand composting kit. Bokashi composting is a simple way to compost all of your kitchen food scraps. It can also be used to supplement your already existing composting method in your garden. Now let's have a look and see what comes with this kit. Here you'll find a bucket with an airtight lid, the drainage tray, some Bokashi bran. It comes with detailed instructions there at the back. The bucket comes with this small tap and full instructions that will give you details on what you can put in your compost, how to assemble the tap, and how the Bokashi composting system helps the environment. Now first let's assemble the tap. You'll do this according to the instructions on the pamphlet. So the tap comes with 4 attachments. You get the actual tap, you get the rubber washer and O-ring, so this is the plastic nut that goes on the inside. The reason for the tap, as the compost ferments, it will produce a tea that will drain at the bottom of the bucket. So what we will do is we will drain this tea using this tap and we'll just dilute it into the water that we'll be using to water your garden. This will add extra fertilizers while your garden is growing. And then you'll place the rubber washer and the O-ring as per instructions on the pamphlet. And then you just put it in. Making sure it's screwed on tightly and there won't be any leaking. Starting the Bokashi compost is quite simple. Now this is what the bran looks like, and it's filled with microorganisms that will fast track the fermentation process to break down the food even quicker than other composting methods. So first we put the drainage tray at the bottom of the bucket. This is to avoid the bigger chunks of food from clogging the tap. This will strain out the bits of food and allow the tea to just sift through and sit at the bottom of your bucket. You start by layering your food scraps into the bucket. Your food scraps will include cooked and uncooked fruits and vegetables, coffee grounds, eggshells, and some small amounts of meat and dairy. Here's a list of things that you should put in your Bokashi compost and some of the things that you need to avoid. As you are layering, try and make it as compact as possible to make sure that there are no air pockets in between. Once that is done, then you need to sprinkle a layer of Bokashi bran all over your food scraps. In terms of measurement, it's really never too much, but if you're going to be composting things like dairy and a lot of meat, then you need to put in more. If you put in too little of the bran, then your compost will go sour and smell. For each layer of kitchen scraps that you put in the bucket, you must also add another layer of Bokashi bran. And then you must break down and compact any large pieces of food. Press down firmly to remove any excess air and ensure good contact between the food scraps and the Bokashi bran. Bigger chunks of fruit and vegetables must also be chopped down. Close your composting bin tightly, making sure that no oxygen comes in. Store your buckets in a cool and dark place and let the Bokashi bran start the fermentation process. I came back a week later to check on my Bokashi compost and also to add some more food scraps. This is what the compost looks like. The eggplant that I had put on top, they've become a bit squishy. There's no pungent smell per se. To me, it kind of smells like black licorice. It is a very unique smell. It doesn't smell like dead things or like your ordinary compost pile. So today I'll be adding the latest of the food scraps that I had collected for the week. To avoid my Bokashi compost having maggots, I store the food scraps in the fridge so that the food doesn't spoil any further and the flies won't lay their eggs in the scraps. Too much oxygen can spoil your Bokashi compost, so what I do to avoid having to open the buckets every day, I keep my food scraps in the fridge and once a week I will put the scraps in the bucket. So the same process that I did last time, just break down all of the food scraps and add a layer of Bokashi bran. Almost every piece of food scrap must have some contact with the Bokashi bran. And then now all I have to do is to press it down again just to make sure that all of the air comes out. As I'm pressing it down, I can feel the squishy bit at the bottom going down and letting out some air. This Bokashi bran is a mixture of beneficial microorganisms that ferment organic waste quickly and doesn't give off any stinky smell. This makes the Bokashi bran composting system a good choice for people who are living in small spaces and cannot keep a big compost pile, or anybody looking to supplement their already existing composting system. And once again, when I've collected enough food scraps, I'll come back and refill it. And then once this bucket is full, I will keep it for 2 weeks and thereafter just empty it onto my bigger compost pile. Then I close it up tightly, making sure that no oxygen can come in, and then I go back and put it back in the dark corner and let the process carry through. If you've enjoyed this video so far, please leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching and happy gardening.